Sag and Sag Rising friends, Sandra from ForYourChi.com, here today to do your May 2022 Tarot and Oracle card reading, first 6 houses. With one addition, I've pulled an extra card from the Law of Attraction card, Esther Abraham Hicks deck. I was told to go get the deck out of the big box of cards, which is very unusual. I've never used this deck in these readings before. Of course, there will be an extended that will contain 7 through 12 houses. Look for that in the description box below if you're interested in that. But let's get right to it, shall we? The Sagittarius needs more rest. Shocking. My Gemini is screaming upstairs, so even he agrees, and he's only 3. So, I mean, listen, don't shoot the messenger, but you really do need to get to bed earlier. Do you really need to stay up until 1:30, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning? Doing whatever it is, watching TV, YouTube, farting around on the video games, reading a book. You can read that book later, but right now you need rest, and specifically in the first few days of May, your body needs the rest. Now, the advice card, Imanya, golden opportunity. If you don't have enough rest, you may miss this golden opportunity because you're mistaking it for something else. So you need the rest to rejuvenate your brain so that when this comes up, you can see it for exactly what it is and you're not Sagittarius skeptical dismissing it. Does that make sense? I hope so. Okay, your second house, your possessions, your finances. Shadow, the moon card. You're introverted. This is not like the Sag to feel like this about their stuff and their money. What are you going to do about this? Boundaries. Okay, so to get yourself out of this money funk or how you feel about it, the answer is say no to the leeches who are being demanding of your checkbook or your pocketbook. Okay? And it can be hard to do, especially when the Sag has whiny children, right? I say this all the time, or at least I feel like I do because I'm married to a Sag. When a child whines, particularly your own child, you feel like it's fingernails on a chalkboard and you would rather give them your last dollar than to hear them whine or cry. It's so uncomfortable for a Sag. They can cry themselves and it's fine, but when someone they love starts crying, they start getting wonky. Start getting nervous, start getting agitated, maybe a little bit angry, and you just want to do whatever it takes to get the child to stop crying, right? But in this case, if this is you who I'm speaking to, giving the kid everything they want is not making you happy. It's actually making things worse. So the answer is going to be no. No, you can't have a Maserati this month. Sorry. It's not going to be next month either. You're going to have to start, if they're older, getting a job, making their own money, setting up their own business, get them. Teach them to learn to make their own money, Sag, if they're old enough. And for those of you that this is not your children, this is your spouse or your friend or whatever this happens to be, you can certainly help them in other ways or not. Don't feel guilty about that. But the bottom line is the boundary card came up for a reason, okay? So take it as it fits you. Your third house, your brother, sister, deception and envy. So this means someone is pulling the wool over your brother or sister's eyes, or your brother or sister could be trying to pull the wool over your eyes. Tamara is here to talk about guiding children. There could be a child involved in this trying to deceive someone. Kids are very tricky. They're very sneaky. They've got videos of how to hide shit on their phone. They've got hidden apps. Nobody can find them. It's especially on an iPhone. It's so weird. And I'd hate to be the parent that says spy on your kid, but let's face it, in this day and age, there's a lot of danger with this technology. I mean, these little girls, 10, 11, 12 years old, are sharing their location and snapping pictures of themselves, and anybody can see them, and it's very frightening. So if you are not the kind of parent, or pardon me, your brother or sister is not the kind of parent that has been spying on their children, they may need to reconsider to do that. And there are apps to do that. I think one is called Kaparsky, Kaparsky. You may want to look into that for your brother or sister. This is your brother or sister's life, by the way, and their child. Okay, your fourth house, Bast, house of home, where you currently live. Bast talks about being independent. She says your independence is the foundation for your strength and success. We went right to the goddess card because I feel like it's more important than the tarot here. Although we do have Triumph, which is the Knight of Swords energy swooping in to save the day here. I feel like this is taking charge of your own home or something to do with your own home. You may be looking around thinking about things like safety, smoke detectors, fire extinguishers, and you're just thinking you wanted somebody to do that. It's not happening. The Sagittarius is going to swoop in and take action and save the day here and not rely on anyone else. I'm just giving you an example. Unless you've actually had the thought of you need to do those things, smoke detector, fire extinguisher, then this is your green light confirmation for that. What do we have in our fifth house here? Heartache and loss. Okay. And Maeve, cycles and rhythms. The phone is just too far away for me to reach it right now, so we're going to let it ring. Sorry about that. Fifth house, heartache and loss. Someone has disappointed you. Now, this could be a child because sometimes children show up in the fifth house. But for others of you, this could be a friend disappointment. This could be someone who you are dating or who you have dated recently, and they have just completely bummed you out. However, there is a message that this is cyclical. Okay, so this person may have done this to you more than once. It's a sign. They can't hang with the Sag for very long. This person will be in and out of your life until you put your foot down and say no more. Now, your sixth house, work and health, awareness. This says that you already know what to do, but you haven't done it yet. What is the advice card here? Solace, which is clear your energy, be near a body of water. It's also a message to take a sea salt bath if you can physically do that. Some of you can't. My husband can't because of his health conditions, so consider that as you are hearing this message. It may be just to take a vacation, a small, weekend trip to a lake, near a lake or a pond or something, a river. Okay, but there's definitely some action that needs to be taken that you haven't done related to your work or related to your health. For some of you, this could be getting a second opinion, getting your medication switched because something's off or it's not working, or you're experiencing a side effect that you just recently learned was a side effect you didn't really know. That happens all the time. This could be putting in your resignation at your job, but more importantly, getting a new one, right? Putting your resume out there or talking to someone about some work somewhere else. Now, we're going to pull the 3 tarot cards of who is around my Sag and Sag Rising friends with your 7th house primary relationships. We've got Cups, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. We've got the Judgment card, another Scorpio here. And we've got the Devil, which depicts a Capricorn, believe it or not. This could be rising or sun. And we're going to go through one card from the Law of Attraction deck, Esther Abraham Hicks. This card says, I divide each day into segments of intention. So that's important because a Sag can be overwhelmed with their own magnificent brain and thoughts and all of the thoughts that come to you at any given moment, right? So that can be overwhelming, and you may need to divide that up. The back of this card says the point from which you are consciously perceiving. That point is a segment. Makes sense so far. Your day may be divided into many segments. It is not necessary for you to have a rigid schedule of segments, but it is important that you clearly identify when you are moving from one segment of intention to another segment of intention. Okay, so this is talking about breaking it down, simplifying it for the Sagittarius, because God knows, right? You people can complicate things. I mean that in the best way possible. But I'm married to a Sag. I mean, let's face it, it happens. It is also important for those of you who want to manifest more to listen to the advice in the segmentation here. How can you do that? Well, the first thing that comes to my mind is putting reminders on your phone. You can break your day up into quarters. So the first quarter, 8 to 11 a.m. or 9 to noon, right? Second quarter, 12 to 3. 3:01 to 6:01. Write down your intentions for the day or for the month, and then work on those same intentions 4 times a day, at least once. And then you have a reminder that pops up on your phone, 1 or 2 times within that segment, and then you're doing your affirmations within that time. Positive affirmations. Remember, you can't say a negative. Thanks so much for being here with me. If you would like to continue on into the extended, we're going to be looking at your houses 7 through 12. We're going to be going through your primary relationship, your sex life, taxes, contracts, legal matters, the source of your significant other's income who have that. We're going to be looking at your travel and your school, your career and your mother, your children and your best friend, and the 12th house, which happens in the future. Look for it in August. Many blessings. Take care.